Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I am going to explain you the age of revolution, 1830 to 1845. During this 15 year of time, many political changes took place in European countries. And these political changes was the outcome of the liberal nationalist movement. The idea of nationalist feeling that spread in Europe. So in 1815, Duke Metternich, the Chancellor of Austria, with the help of Russia, Prussia and Britain, established conservative regimes hoping that they would suppress the nationalist movement. They would stop the nationalist feeling. However, the liberal nationalists found their own way to struggle. Many of them joined the secret underground associations. They became the member of Carbonaries and they continued their movement against monarchy. So this was the outcome. The first revolt took place in France in July 1830. Bourbon dynasty was overthrown again, and in its place constitutional monarchy was established with Louis Philippe as the king. Now, with this development, Duke Metternich once remarked, "When France sneezes, the rest of the Europe catches the cold." Once any revolutionary changes took place in France, that affected the rest of Europe as well. We can see here the July Revolution sparked an uprising. The July Revolution that took place in France, that sparked an uprising in Brussels, the capital of Belgium, and as a result of this, Belgium got separated from United Kingdom of Netherlands. Greek War of Independence, which is an important topic and it might come for 3 marks. So in this Greek War of Independence, what we can see, Greece was under the control of Ottoman Empire, Ottoman Turk for a longer period of time, and they they used to torture the Greek people, and as a result of this, there was a revolutionary nationalism spread in Greece also. What all political changes that took place in Europe, other part of Europe, that sparked of a struggle for independence among the Greeks, which began in the year 1821. Nationalists in Greece got support from other Greeks who were living in other countries and from many other European nations. Since Greece is a cradle of human civilization, so people had sympathy for the Greeks and they came to help them. Here we can see the example of English poet Byron, who organized funds and later went to fight in the war, where he died of fever in 1824, much before the liberation of Greece. However, Greece got finally freedom after the Treaty of Constantinople of 1832. So Treaty of Constantinople made Greece as an independent nation. Here you can find an important question: which treaty made Greece as an independent nation? And this question is very simple. It is the treaty of, answer is very simple, the Treaty of Constantinople, a treaty or an agreement which was signed in the city of Constantinople. Present date is known as Istanbul. Then Romanticism. Romanticism refers to movement in art, literature, music during 19th century. Art, literature and music also played a very important role in spreading the nationalist sentiment. Romanticism is characterized by 5 I's. You can see here: imagination, intuition, idealism, inspiration and individuality. Romantic artists and poets generally criticized the glorification of reason and science and focused instead on emotions, intuition and mystical feelings. Their effort was to create a sense of shared collective heritage, a common cultural past on the basis of a nation. So, in this regard, I have to mention the name of German philosopher Johann Gottfried. Through his painting, he tried to arouse the spirit of nationalism among the people. And his painting, which is there in the textbook, was very popular one. Language too played an important role in developing nationalist sentiment. After Russian occupation, Russian forcefully imposed Russian languages in Poland, and in school and colleges, Russian became the only medium of instruction, and as a result of this, there was a widespread resentment among the Polish people. So they took language as a weapon to protest against the Russian, protest against the government. Whenever there was any church gathering, they used to address the gathering in Polish language. So in this regard, I have to mention Karol Karpinski, who had a music opera, and through his music opera he tried to spread the nationalist sentiment. So these are important points you have to go through. Then Grimm brothers also played a very important role. Grimm brothers, they compiled the folk tales and they made German culture and German language popular. So Grimm's fairy tale is very important in terms of arising the nationalist sentiments. Then next comes hunger strike and popular revolts. When there was a lot of hardship, people found it very difficult to maintain their livelihood. A lot of revolutions took place. So during the first half of 19th century, we have seen a lot of changes in the political scenario and socio-economic pattern of the society. Many people started moving from rural areas to urban areas in search of job, and as a result of this, towns and cities became overcrowded and there developed urban slums where people were struggling to maintain their livelihood. Survival crisis we could see over there, and that arose many such revolts, particularly whenever there was any bad harvest and crop failure. There was widespread pauperism, and that took the people of European countries on the road, and they took revenge against the ruler. So here we can see the revolt of 1848 was one such year, when there was severe food shortage and widespread unemployment that brought population of Paris, the capital of France, out on the roads. Barricades were erected, and they tried to reach the King Louis Philippe, who was the king at that time. So that was one such revolt, and that brought a lot of changes. In the political scenario of Europe. Here we have to mention the weavers movement of 1845 also. Weavers movement in Silesia, who revolted against the supply contractors who were not giving adequate price of their products. So all these movements and the revolts were the outcome of the nationalist sentiment, the spreading up of nationalist sentiments among the people. And this nationalist sentiment, spread in German also. In the German region, a large number of political associations whose members were mostly the middle class people, the rich businessmen, prosperous artisans, they came together in the city of Frankfurt and decided to vote for all German National Assembly. On 18 May 1848, 831 elected representatives marched in a festive procession to take their places in Frankfurt Parliament convened in the Church of St. Paul. Frankfurt Parliament is very important. One 3 marks question you can expect from that particular topic. So all German national drafted a constitution and they hope to set up constitutional monarchy in Germany with Frederick Wilhelm as the head of that constitutional monarchy. They offered the highest position of that constitutional monarchy to Frederick Wilhelm IV, but he denied. Frederick Wilhelm IV was the head of absolute monarchy. He was an absolute monarch. He didn't want to do any compromise with his power. He joined with other monarchs of other countries to oppose that elected assembly. And finally, with the help of the other monarchs and the help of, in fact, the common people and the artisans, they also didn't support the all German National Assembly. And as a result of this, finally a troop was called and assembly was disbanded. So ultimately, the Frankfurt Parliament and the dream of all German National Assembly to create a constitutional monarchy came to an end. It was not a successful attempt, however, that brought a lot of changes in the country, and the rulers now realized that in order to be there in the rule, they have to make some changes, and they realized that without giving some amount of rights and freedoms, it would be very difficult for them to continue in power. So a lot of changes came after that. The next one is the unification of Germany. How Germany finally became an unified nation. And Germany became an unified nation with the help of military, with the help of army. Now the question is, can army liberate a nation, play a vital role in liberating a nation? Yes. And it was with the initiative of Prussian Chief Minister Otto von Bismarck. Finally, Germany became an unified nation. And for that, Germany had to fight 3 wars. 3 consecutive wars they had to fight. They had to defeat Denmark, they had to defeat then the huge and mighty Austrian Empire with the help of France, and finally they had to defeat France itself in order to set up their own German nation. Finally, in the year 1871, in the month of January, the Prussian King William I was proclaimed as German Emperor, and with that, unification of Germany got over, and Germany became a nation state, and Otto von Bismarck remained the architect in this process. Thank you. So next video will come shortly, and in order to get all the important updates, you have to subscribe my channels. It is very important. And if you like the video, you can share, and you can always give your comments, please. And to subscribe the channel, you have to press the bell icon, which is displayed on your screen at present. Thank you. Have a nice day.